We are Group 4, and we assess the Campbell Soup Company, and we believe that we should invest in Campbell Soup Company, and these are all the reasons why. An important tool that we used to determine whether Campbell's Soup was a worthy investment for today was using the pestle analysis, focusing on the political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and legal aspects of the world environment. So one of the big things when looking into political that poses a threat to Campbell's Soup Company is lots of regulations that they have to abide by, especially since they have also international locations. They have to abide by those rules too. There's lots of trade regulations, antitrust laws with pricing regulations, and they need to have proper labeling on all their food. However, even though these can pose threats because they have to abide by laws, it also shows how they can still be a reputable company, and they want people to buy products from a reputable company. Another aspect of the pestle is economic, and Campbell's Soup, when looking at their second quarterly reports, they had significantly done better in their earnings per share, their net sales, and they had also decreased their debt levels. So overall, the opportunities outweigh the threats for Campbell Soup in the economic area. When we then look at the social aspect, there are some things that can make it go either way. For a standpoint of people's customer loyalty, Campbell Soup has been around for years, and they've built up such a reputable brand that everyone knows who they are. However, what their brand is based on is canned items and canned foods, and a lot of people's attitudes are shifting towards more healthier alternatives. So I think for social, your opportunities and threats, it depends on how you view it, whether the threats outweigh the opportunities and vice versa. Also, technology is kind of the same aspect as well. If they're able to use today's technology and reduce their costs and produce their products faster, that's an opportunity. But however, if their competitors capitalize on using these technologies before them, they could fall behind, and then that's would pose a threat. When we then also look at the environmental aspect, some threats that can pose to the company is that there are regulations on air and water pollution in the processed and packaged goods industry. Therefore, Campbell's has to abide by those. But however, since one of their main focuses is making real food for real people, hence they want to have their farms be fresh and be abiding by these regulations. So therefore, I do believe that the environmental aspect for opportunities outweighs the threats, because the same thing of they want to be a reputable brand. And then lastly is the legal aspect. So obviously there's the FDA, and there's been items by Campbell's that have been recalled, and that poses threats. But however, they also reacted quickly onto that, and they still wanted to have a very reputable brand and make sure that they had the best quality food items out onto the shelves. So by looking overall at all of the opportunities and threats, we believe that Campbell's Soup their opportunities outweigh the threats.
Another way our group decided whether or not we would invest in the Campbell's Soup Company was by looking at the industry profit potential. We assessed this profit potential by creating a five forces model, and we came to the conclusion that there is a medium to high profit potential in the brand and convenience food market, which is the industry that Campbell's Soup Company lies in. So the first factor that we went about and assessed was the new entrants. So these are any new convenience food products that can come into the market. We thought that this was a low threat, and that's because of the economies of scale. They have a high entry cost into this market. Their products are somewhat differentiated, and then there are also a lot of different government policies that a new company would have to go about getting by before they could get onto these shelves. The next thing we looked at was the substitutes. And then this is obviously any packaged food company. This is a high threat assessment, and that's because there are low switching costs. There's many, many alternatives. And then there's also relatively lower customer loyalty with these. People will switch products pretty quickly. We then looked at the buyers. These are anyone selling these convenience food products, like a Food Lion, a 7-Eleven, a ShopRite, whatever it might be. This is a low assessment of power, and this is because there is a little bit of a product differentiating, low switching costs, and buyers are price sensitive, and they do have a little bit of customer loyalty when it comes to brand. So in our group, we found that people will buy Campbell's soup just because they see the packaging, they recognize it, and they've had it before, so they enjoy it, so they'll just keep getting it. Off of buyers, the opposite of that is their suppliers. They also have a low assessment of power. And these are the people, anyone that sells them commodities or simple ingredients. So a lot of different farmers will be these suppliers. And that's because there's a high number of these suppliers. They are don't really have differentiated products, so they're all pretty much the same, and tomato is a tomato. They have a low chance of forward integration because of all the different challenges that would come with it. And then there's also low switching costs for Campbell's, so if they wanted to go and get a different supplier, that wouldn't be an issue. And then the last thing we looked at was rivals, and these are Corogna brands, General Mills, the Kraft Heinz Company. We said this is a medium assessment, that there are quite a few, and the rationale behind this, we had that it is a competitive environment, but there's also a quality difference, and there is somewhat of loyalty. So, and they do have a lot of the market, so it's okay. So overall, we had that there is a medium to high profit potential within the branded convenience food products.
The VRIO framework is a significant tool to determine if Campbell has a sustainable competitive advantage. The strategic resources that Campbell has are the international food products and the service, operation management, trust-based company culture, and the research and development department for its global products. For the consideration of value, all the resources mentioned above are valuable. In particular, Campbell's operation management, such as its cost-saving program. According to Campbell's second quarter financial report, the program has saved them millions of dollars from unnecessary expense through years. Besides that, Campbell's 10K shows that it has a very stable partnership with its retail buyers like Walmart and its supplier, the local farms. Many of its business partners has been working closely with Campbell over 25 years. Campbell's famous food products and service are popular in many countries. They are so valuable that Campbell's is one of the leaders in the industry. Campbell's research and development department ensured its products are attractive enough for the consumers, and recognitions are gained from the younger consumers as the result. Harvard Business School has studied that trust building is emphasized in Campbell's culture, which helps employees satisfied and work as expected. For the rarity, Campbell's operation management and products mix are rare. Such time-consuming relationship with buyer and supplier require huge investment and trust that not many competitors have ability to make it. Campbell's products mix is rare as it highly differentiated, except that the company's culture and the R&D department are not very rare because they are just common to find it with other competitors. Are Campbell's resources hard to be imitated? It is hard to copy Campbell's operation management and product mix because the firm relationship with the partners are more than the result of investment. Other requirements like time, experience, trust, and spirit of cooperation are irreplaceable factors in making alliance happen. Its highly differentiated product mix costs significant amount of money and studies of markets. Among the resources, Campbell's product mix is well organized with a variety of product lines. Campbell's does not over-rely on a few products. They make supplements for their products and maximize the brand effect. Campbell's operation management is organized too. Consistency is emphasized in many of its plans and programs. For instance, the cost-saving program has been continuing for several years and still working well. In conclusion, Campbell's has competitive parity in resources of company culture and its research and development department. Campbell's has sustainable.
Another tool we used to evaluate Campbell Soup Company was the balanced scorecard. This tool allows an individual to not only focus on the financial performance of a company, but rather monitor several measures that are important in order to understand the organization's long-term performance. When looking at the balanced scorecard or strategy map, first we take a look at the learning and the growth perspective. The human resources, they have a great career paving map, which it allows their employees to pick different positions within the company that they would like to move towards, and allows internal development for managers or upcoming managers. This will lead into their operations, their internal process perspective, as one of the things they emphasize on is engaging employees just as much as they engage their customers on decisions. So everyone is involved in decision making, and there's a high collaboration across all their teams within the company. This leads into their customer perspective, as this shows that they're very adapted to change in eating habits, and they've also shown high importance and being transparent with customers. And then for their financial perspective, they're a high top performing company. They're named to the 100 most sustainable companies in the world, which they focus on protecting and building the brand. They have steady net sales and an 11% increase in earning per share within the last year.
Overall, by using all the tools that we had learned in class, we were able to determine why Campbell Soup is still today a worthy company of investing. And this was just a short presentation on why.